You don't know them. They don't know you. In fact, they don't even know you exist. Yet they live rent free in your head. Here's the thing about celebrity worshiping or whoever such influencer, etc. The thing about that is like there's like a strong psychology behind it because and yes, I did kind of like nerd out. What I mean by nerd out, I kind of went like, you know, done a little short little research on it because like I've been thinking about it a lot. Or why people like praise such and such, or why people like, because people will do some crazy thing because of this, because of who they look up to. You know what I'm saying? Like the crazy psychology behind it is like majority of the time you're not even aware that you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand, like, humans are tribal creatures no matter what. We are tribal creatures. And you can go as far as back, what, thousands of years to where people will, in general, would just look for the strongest hunter, the wisest elders, the the one with the most skills, right? Because we look at that, because our brains are just like wired to just like spot status or status. They're just wired to just spot that. And when we spot that, we're just like, that's really working for them. They doing kind of everything right. And when we see like so and so flexing of such cars on Instagram or whatever, or Instagram flexing their life, their created life. What I mean by their created life is like it was intentionally done that way. You know what I'm saying? This is why whenever you can't look at, you don't really know them. The reason I say you don't really know them because they have a created life is designed. That life is designed to kind of like attract a certain audience, right? To where if they wanna if they want to, let's say, market themselves to, let's say they just want to market them. A perfect example of this would be like, you know how like whenever, because you hear, because think about it, think about your favorite celebrities, right? You see them every day. What I mean by seeing them every day, like through the screen on your phone, you hear their voice, you see their posts, and sometimes they can create this whole like, not even sometimes, the parasocial relationship, right? Like parasocial relationship is just like the one-sided relationship. And whenever it gets to that, that's when it gets really dangerous because like it's one way, right? You can create this little like fake friendship, right? This fantasy friendship, or worse, uh some romantic relationship with them. Yes, that happens all the time. That's why certain certain celebrity will have stalkers, and you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes. And hold on, I'm just looking down to see one of the things that I really wanted to mention about it. Yeah, whenever that happened, it created this whole like social comparison. Right? What I mean by that is that like you always try to compare yourself to their life because more than likely your life is not their life. You know what I'm saying? And because their life is intentionally done to attract you, whenever that's why fan wars get a little crazy, right? To where whenever you feel like your favorite celebrity betrayed you or make a choice you don't like, you feel hurt because your emotion don't care because your brain is just like, because you were like in this fake fantasy relationship with them, thinking you know them, it just create chaos in your head, man. And when I mean by chaos is like, think about it this way. Sometimes because you are idolizing them in a way to where it can create this whole like, because again, the fake relationship, whatever, it can really mess up with your mind to where you don't have connection with real people. What I mean by real people, like it could be your family member. You don't really have a real connection with them because who's there at 3 a.m. for you? And what I mean by like who's there at 3 a.m. for you, like you lay in your bed, it's 3 a.m. More than likely, everybody else is sleeping, right? Maybe you're feeling some type of way. But guess what? You're scrolling to TikTok. You see so and so, or you see a post about your favorite celebrity. You hear their voice. Maybe at that time they make you laugh. They make you laugh. At that time, maybe you were having a bad day at work, whatever. At 3 a.m., you scroll. You see so and so made a joke, and they made you laugh, and that just registered on your mind. Oh, they really made me comfortable. But it's not a real person. You're just seeing stuff through the screen to where you see what I mean, like the psychology behind it. Like your brain is not recognizing it. Hey, I don't really know so and so. Why am I buying whatever? Oh, why am I buying their merch? Why am I talking like them? Why? And these are the things that you don't even you won't spot it, to be honest with you. And even when you kind of like recognize, like what I mean by recognize, like you realize you doing it, you kind of ignore it because you sometimes you get in too deep. What I mean by in too deep, by look at fan wars, right? Man, Kobe will never do that, man. Yeah, man. What you mean? Bron's better. Bron's better. Nah, Kobe, man. Mamba mentality, man. I'm using a basketball example because sometimes when you hear fans argue with for their favorite basketball player, sometimes they lose kind of like they stop being logical. They start going like into fantasy land, you know what I'm saying? Into hypothetical to where if it was Kobe, if it was Bron, you know what I'm saying? Think about it this way, like to keep going with the basketball example. Remember when whatchamacallit, when LeBron first joined the Lakers, right? When Kobe was alive, you saw like how they were a Lakers fan and they were Kobe fan. But there were three things. There were Kobe fan, there was Laker fan, and there was Kobe delusional fans. You know what I'm saying? You saw the chaos behind that. And there's again, you might not even be realizing it, whether you're a Kobe fan or whatever. You might not even realizing it. Those people who were saying stuff about Brown and those people who were saying stuff about Kobe, going against each other, whatever, they might not even realizing it. It wasn't so much so about Kobe or Bron. It wasn't really about the celeb. It was more about them protecting their tribe. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I don't know if I said it already, but like modern day, celebrities not now are just well, I'm going on a tangent, but celebrities now they're like the current modern day tribal leaders. You know what I'm saying? This is why when I say when you get, when they influence you, when you see the lifestyle they're living or whatever they say, it kind of align with you. You kind of want to join that tribe because again, humans are tribal creatures. So, like I said, it's not really about Kobe or Bron. It's about you protecting your tribe. It's about you being at the for example, if you go thousands of years, whatever, you being at the gate, grabbing your ox to back, fight creature, whatever. And because like I said, when they betrayed you or whatever, right? It kind of create this whole like, in a way, put you in a state to where you kind of like start despising them. You know what I'm saying? And you see it like people switch it up like on their favorite rapper, on their favorite movie star, and their favorite streamer, on their favorite YouTuber. And the reason I'm mentioning YouTuber, streamer, and whatever, you have to understand. I would say like the top 20% of content creator, whether it's YouTuber, streamer, whatever, they're celebrities. And this is why, especially streamers, this is why you see like, believe it or not, some streamers are kind of like, how would I say it? Like, this is why you see uh sometimes movie stars, uh music artists go on streamers to kind of like, especially when they're dropping a song, to get a more wide range, because believe it or not, they're celebrities, man. You have to understand that. And here's the thing, this is why you gotta understand your brand is like every like, every viral clip, every scandal's a big thing, man. Every scandal's a big thing because like it create like this whole, again, of course, dopamine hit in your head to where like, especially like, like how a celebrity was doing, he's doing good. The reason I'm trying to not to say any names or whatever, because I don't like talking about people. The reason I mention basketball, because I'm a big basketball fan, man. So celebrities doing well, whatever, and a big scandal come out about them, right? When they betrayed you or make a choice that you didn't like, whatever, right? And you're like, man, I don't mess with so and so. Man, I thought I knew him, man. I'm switching up, whatever. Here's where the whatever uh more psychology, comes in play. Whenever that happened, depending on who their publicist is and or whoever managed their social media or whatever, they'll come with this design kind of like comeback story, right? To where you can feel like you're connected with them at that point. Oh man. Cause humans are tribal creature, right? If you experience like the person's worst day, whatever, right? Especially if you experience it together, you get closer with that person. This is why if you put like two people in the jungle and let's say you put two enemies, right? Two people who are opposing, right? And they're enemies. You put them in the jungle and they have to fight all creatures, whatever. And they have to fight those creatures, defend themselves, right? I guarantee you those so-called friend, enemies, if they spend at least like 60 days, hell, 30 days, they'll come out a lot closer than you think. And it's the same way with celebrities. Whenever a scandal come out, their publicists or whatever, their manager, whatever, whoever handle it, kind of like manage their journey of coming back. And you're watching that, it can turn you to, it can turn, it can turn you like, let's say you didn't like the person at all in a way. I guarantee you, if you watch their journey or whatever, you start thinking like, oh, I'm going through this with this person. Oh, I can relate, man. Oh, man, maybe I misjudged them. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, man, you start idolizing them once they reach, the top again. Believe it or not, a lot of YouTubers do this. A lot of content creators do this. They kind of like document, the worst part of their lives, or whatever, and they kind of garner your attention. Because attention is currency, and and it turns and attention is not new currency, man. I don't know why people keep saying that. It's not new. Nothing is really new. Attention has always been currency. You know what I'm saying? And once they garner that attention, they have that attention, man, and you get to a certain point, man. you feel like you know that person, you know what I'm saying? Because you were going through their struggle. But it's kind of like, how would I say it? They're the leader of that tribe, and you want to be part of that tribe because you feel more related to them. And back to the whole parasocial thing, to where because you're having this fake fantasy relationship with them, and to the whole comfort thing at 3 a.m., it kind of like shut down any connection you could have with real people who can actually help you. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand, like, I kind of joke, well, not joke, but like, you know how, like, I said it a couple of times. The supercomputer exists. What I mean by it exists, that it exists and everybody has it, right? Believe it or not, everybody's born with it. It's called the brain. If it wasn't for the brain, a lot of things that you see that's being created wouldn't been done. And even with AI that magically create certain things you want it to create, a brain created. Or so, like, I honestly lost what I was going with that for a sec. Uh Let me see if I have anything that could help me. Nope, I don't. That's the thing about when I do these videos, I just do bullet points, and so that's why sometimes I be going in a tangent. I don't know if I said that already, but I think I'm gonna end it here. Comment down below, who are you obsessed with? Don't be shy. Don't be arrogant. You obsessed with someone. Who is it? Who is it, man? Comment down below. I bet you won't. Like the video.